Hello guys! Welcome back to my vlog. Kung bago ka sa channel na to, I am Za and this is Za Canada channel. Thank you so much sa lahat ng mga nag-subscribe lately at kung hindi pa, mag-subscribe na po kayo. And in my channel, I always talk about anything that has something to do with immigration and mga real life stories ng ating mga kababayan dito sa Canada. Well, anyway, we have a new topic today and it's all about asylum claims. Ang daming nag-uusap ngayon with regard to asylum claims at ano nga ba yan at may pagbaba daw na nangyari at kung bakit bumaba ang mga nagpa-file ng asylum. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that further. Wagalis. Well, in this regard, so imagine nag-apply ka ng TRV, so temporary resident visa, tapos biglang kansilado lahat. So parang last minute date plan. Kumbaga, pagpunta mo sa Canada, nag-file kang bigla ng asylum, then biglang na-cancel. So according to IRCC, ganyan na nangyayari ngayon. So as of November of 2025 versus last year, yung last data nila in 2024, it plummeted ng 55%. So ang laki niyan. So napakalaking numbers niyan. So imagine, let's just say na 100 applicants, more than half yung nawala dun sa mga application, na-cancel, na-deny, na-refuse. Pero ano nga ba itong mga to? Ano nga ba itong mga application na to? These are TRV, so temporary resident visa, which means na most of the time, these are visitor visa. Apparently, Canada tightened scrutiny on these visas kasi ang daming ginagamit ito for asylum claims. Kumbaga, papasok ng Canada and then once inside the Canada, they are going to send an application for asylum telling them that they cannot go back to their home country. Ganyan na nangyayari. So what's the result of that? Fewer claims for TRV holders and 55% drop in 1 year. So, parang kasing ang iba, ang ginagawa nilang parang bucket list sa Canada na once they get into Canada, they'll file asylum claim at ginagawa nilang bucket list. Uy, nakapunta lang ako ng Canada. Well, bakit nga ba nagkakaganito? So, as we all know, immigration has been tightening its doors. Or Canada has been tightening its doors when it comes to TRV, especially TRV. Kasi ito yung mga sometimes medyo madaling ma-approve kasi you don't have to present any job offer. You don't have to present lots and lots of documents aside from your capability of traveling to Canada. If you have these application in traveling to Canada, then most likely you'll be approved, but not 100%. Again, I'm not an immigration officer. You can always check the IRCC website kung paano mag-apply ng tourist visa. But then again, some people are using tourist visa to easily enter Canada, and from the time that they enter Canada, they will eventually file asylum claim. And that is something that we should not practice. Kasi sa ganyang patakaran o sa ganyang thinking na ginagawa ng mga ibang tao or probably ng mga ibang immigration RCIC consultant na sinasabi nila na scammer pala, ginagamit nila to para lokohin ang system. Para eventually makakuha ng malaking pera sa ibang mga tao at makapang-akit ng mga customer na kesyo, you apply for your tourist visa and then once you get here, you can file for an asylum claim. And probably, these are one of the techniques of those scammers para lang makakuha ng mga kliyente. Yung iba, kumakagat. Basta makapasok ako ng Canada, okay na. I can do whatever I want. That's a no-no. Okay? So, in this regard, we have to take note that yung paghihigpit na nangyayari dito is parte ito. Parte ito kung bakit naghigpit ng bonggang-bongga ang immigration. So, there are immigration officers that act like detectives now. So, which means that they scrutinize each and every application kahit pati RV lang yan. Because they might think that when these people get into Canada, they might do something else or they must do something different. So, mas sinusuri ang TRV applications and yung mga nag-aabuso ng system. So, anong ibig sabihin nito para sa mga karaniwang tao na kagaya natin? So, if you are a tourist, student, or worker na gustong pumunta dito sa Canada, better prepare all your documents. Make sure they are legitimate, and make sure that everything that you put in your application form are real. Walang imbento dyan. Kasi, again, if you're going to go back to my previous vlog, we have immigration misrepresentation. Kapag nakita yung application mo, kahit Canadian ka pa, kahit PR ka pa, kahit napakatagal mo pa sa Canada, sa isang iglap, pwedeng kunin yan ni Canada. Kasi nagsinungaling ka. Ibig sabihin, hindi naman totoo. Baka lahat ng information mo pala mali. 'Di ba? And less fraud and abuse. 'Di ba? So, as I said, iwasan ang pagpo-Photoshop, okay? Pagpo-Photoshop ng kung ano-ano diyan sa application natin. Napakaganda na ng AI ngayon. We can just easily print out application that looks like real and upload it. But then again, IRCC have so much ways to find out kung legitimate yung application mo. So don't dare. Okay? And again, if you try to lie on your application, it's like you are wasting all of your life away. Kasi Canada share information to other countries like Australia or other European countries, which means na if they find out that you lie in your application, yung mga bansa na gusto mo pang puntahan or alternative na bansa is maitatapon mo. Maitatapon mo lahat dahil may record ka na ng pagsisinungaling. But my take on this about the asylum seekers is dapat fair din ang process, which means na everybody should have their own fair share of scrutiny, which means na sana na napoprocess din ng maigi yung mga legitimate application. At syempre, yung mga nag-abuse ng system, please don't do it. Because once you abuse the system, then more backlogs are going to happen. And lahat maaapektuhan. And once again, kung sobrang higpit na application, those legitimate people that are really applying for asylum seekers, they will be affected as well. Okay? And para sa ating mga Pilipino, don't forget to prepare your strong documents. Make sure that this is verifiable. Kayang-kaya nila, wala kang duda, pagdududa sa sarili mo na these are legitimate documents, which means na kahit sino pa ang tawagan nyo, these are real. And again, don't invent letters. Wag na tayo magpaka-scientist, okay? Wag na. Wag tayong magpa-editor kuno. 'Di ba? Kasi pag nagpaka-editor kuno tayo sa mga application natin, Diyos ko. 'Di ba po? Wag na po nating subukan. And this is really important. If you don't know exactly what to do with your application, if you are in doubt consult a legitimate immigration lawyer or consultant. You can always find that in RCIC at napakadami pang iba. Check the reviews as well. Check the reviews of this immigration consultant and lawyers to make sure that they are reputable. Okay? So that should be it for now. I hope may natutunan kayo sa video na to. I'm not going to, so hindi ko na ilalagay yung email address ko dyan, but I'm going to show it to my profile. Bakit hindi ko nilagay ang email ko? Napanood ko yung isang video ko and napakalaki pala niya sa baba. So, I'm still trying to figure out kung paano siya paliitin. And then, pag napaliit ko na, siguro ilalagay ko na ulit yung email ko dyan. But again, my email address is still in my profile. So, if you have any inspiring stories or questions, feel free to send me an email. Okay? At laging tatandaan, hindi kailangan maraming pera, basta may peace of mind. Thank you for watching. Till next time. Bye-bye.